Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. I am currently sitting on Toro's newest zero-turn mower. New for 2024 is the Toro Titan. Sitting beside me is my old zero-turn mower. It is a 2021 Toro Titan Max. And I've got to make the hard decision. Which one am I going to keep and which one am I going to sell? So here's a quick look at both mowers side by side. Again, this is the 2024 Toro Titan. This is a 2021 Toro Titan Max. We've had this since 2021. I've got about 156 hours on it. This has been a stellar mower. I've got about 3 hours on the new Toro Titan, and I want to give you just my quick thoughts on both of them before we get going here. We'll get more into detail here in a second, but the long and short of it is, this is a residential mower with a lot more creature comforts, and this is a light commercial mower, or what I like to call a farm and ranch mower with less creature comforts. So this one's going to be a little bit beefier, a little bit heavier duty. This one is going to be a little bit lighter duty, but it's going to have more of those creature comforts. To get into it, the first and foremost thing you see, and probably the most important thing, is the MyRide suspension. That is a very nice feature to take care of a lot of the bumps and stuff. If you've ever been on a zero-turn mower, you know they bounce you around a little bit. There's not a lot in the way of suspension on zero-turn mowers, but this one does have a solution to that. My Toro Titan Max does have a suspension seat, which is nice, but the Toro MyRide suspension system is definitely an upgrade over just your standard suspension seat. You can also see both seats are very nicely bolstered, so they keep you firmly planted in. I do like that the Titan Max has armrests on it. They both are sporting a 26 horsepower Kohler engine with a 60-inch deck. So they both have the same engine and same size deck on them. One thing I do see looking at the back here is the Toro Titan Max, again, with it just being a light commercial instead of a residential, does have a little bit larger tires. I think these are 24-inch wheels. These are 22-inch wheels. Here's the weight adjustment on that MyRide suspension system, so you can make it more plush or more stiff depending on where you want it. I'm going to keep it right in the center there. The Titan Max has a 7-gallon fuel tank in it. The Toro Titan has a 5-gallon fuel tank in it, if that's important to you. One thing I do really like about this Toro Titan over the Toro Titan Max is that the parking brake is built into the lap bars. So as soon as you pull these in, the mower comes out of your parking brake. On that one over there, I'll show you real quick. You have to manually set the parking brake. And so I know that might not seem like a big deal, but you've got about a second or two between when you take the parking brake off and when you get the lap bars set, to where you have no control of the machine, right? So I like that one, as soon as you bring the lap bars in, your parking brake is disengaged and you're ready to go. This one just has that extra step in it. There's been times on this mower where if I needed to park on some kind of incline, you know, I've got the drive motors engaged, so they're holding me in place from rolling downhill. And so whenever you go to park it, you have to do this very quickly and set the parking brake. So that's just one thing you don't have to worry about on that one anymore, is the parking brake is built into the lap bars. Let's see, what other differences do I notice? Obviously, you've got the addition of the rollover protection system on the Toro Titan Max. You do not have that on the Toro Titan. The fuel gauge on this machine, it actually has one. I don't know if you can see it. It's down there under the seat. So really not in a great place to see it, but you can see it. The Titan Max does not have a fuel gauge. Instead, it has a sight glass right here, and this is one of my complaints about this machine, is the lack of a fuel gauge and the sight glass. You almost have to have the perfect lighting in order to tell how much fuel you have left. Luckily, like I mentioned earlier, this has a 7-gallon fuel tank and that has a 5-gallon fuel tank, so I can probably almost cut the entire property twice on one tank of fuel with this, whereas this would be pushing it. I'd probably get one full cutting on everything you see here, and then I have to fill it up again, and it'd probably be cutting it close. So I do like a larger fuel tank just for that reason of not having to fill up as much. Here's a quick look at the instrument panel on the Toro Titan Max. The only real difference I see between the two mowers, other than layout, is the PTO mower deck engagement. This is a pull type knob, so you pull it out to engage the PTO and push it down to stop it. And over on the Toro Titan, you can see the layout's a little bit different, and this has a rocker switch instead of a pull knob. So those are some of the major differences that I see between these two otherwise very similar mowers. Like I said, same size engine, same size mower deck, a little bit beefier, a little bit more comfortable. So I don't know, for the same price on both of these mowers, which would you rather have? A little bit more heft or creature comforts? I've got to decide right now which one am I going to keep and which one am I going to sell, because I don't have room for both. So there you go, guys. We've decided to get rid of the 2024 Toro Titan. The Titan Max, being a light commercial or farm and ranch mower, just serves our needs better, as we're cutting up to 5 acres every single week. This, being a residential unit mower, is going to serve the needs of one of my family members a lot better. So you might be asking yourself, Adam, why are you getting rid of a brand new mower? Well, a few months ago, Toro reached out to us and asked if we'd be interested in trying out one of the new mowers they were bringing to market. And I love trying out new things, so I said, of course, but I don't really need 2 mowers. And I said, but I do have some family members who would. So my parents, they live in a housing development with a half-acre lot. My sister lives in a housing development. I think they've got a 1-acre lot here. And so I asked if they'd be okay with me coming down here to demo this in more of a residential setting than the farm and ranch setting that we live in, and they were cool with that. So we brought it down here to my sister's place for them to try out. They have been running for the last 10 years a Husqvarna 48-inch ride-on mower, and it's getting to the end of its life. And this being a 60-inch deck, they're going to cut their mowing time by quite a bit. It's going to be faster, more stable in some of the hills that we have. So I think they're going to enjoy this mower for many years to come. Let me give you a quick walk around their yard. All right, so this is my sister's old mower. It's a Husqvarna 48-inch ride-on mower. Definitely seen its better days. I think you said you guys just had it tuned up this year, right? Because it was starting to run a little rougher. And it's probably getting to the point where you're starting to get nickeled and dimed on it, to the point where it's not worth what it is to get it fixed every year.
Yes. Just wanted to run at the beginning of the year. That's all.
Yeah.
When it doesn't, you're like, oh.
So one thing I think you'll appreciate and notice a huge difference on between this and the new mower we brought you is a ride-on mower. You notice your back tires are a lot closer together, and you seem to sit more on top of the rear axle. Whereas if you look at the back of the Toro Titan, your tires have a much wider stance, and the seat seems to be a lot lower on the machine. So your center of gravity is a lot lower, which makes it a lot more stable for mowing hillsides and things like that. And you actually have a pretty good size hill on the side of the house here that has always been a struggle to mow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you know, within the owner's manual of the Toro Titan, it says that, you know, the degree of slope that you should not exceed with that mower is 15 degrees. And so we're just going to show you, this is right at about 15 degrees, which will be a good test for that mower to see how it does. We've got a board here, and then my sister has a level on her phone that she can put down, and we can check to see. So right there, we are about 13 degrees of slope for this hill on the side of the house here. So that'll be a good test. All right, so this is the front yard, and then you guys just saw the side yard with the hill over there. This is the other side yard heading towards their backyard. They probably have a total of half-acre worth of grass to cut every week. And I think this mower is going to be, it would be a little bit light duty for the 5 acres I do every week, but I think for them, it's going to be plenty of mower for them. Going to be a really nice upgrade from that 48-inch deck. I would imagine it's going to cut your mowing time in half, maybe. Just because it's going to be a lot more maneuverable, and going from a 48-inch deck to a 60-inch deck. So everything you see behind the pool here, down to the fire pit down there, is what they mow. They've got another nice little gentle slope down there that I think you said is a little uneasy on the ride-on mower, yes, too.
Feels like you have to slow down and hang on for dear life.
Yeah, use your body weight quite a bit to balance out the mower to keep it from rolling. Yeah, with that zero turn, the worst thing you're going to have to worry about is it wanting to slide downhill, not necessarily rolling downhill. So anyway, let's go hop on it and give you a quick tutorial. You've never run a zero turn before, right?
One time a long time ago, but I was not good at
it. Well, that's easy. All right, so go ahead and hop on there, Jen.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's that My Ride suspension. Go ahead and wobble back and forth there a little bit. Kind of like a lazy boy, right?
Yeah, it's
All right,
comfy.
so to start it, you're gonna pull the choke out, you're gonna put it up to about half throttle, and then you're gonna turn the key. And then turn the choke off once it's started and throttle it up. Now to engage the mower deck, you push that button. Okay, now the lap bars right now are in parking brake mode. If you look down here, it says when they're out, they're in parking brake. When you bring them in, you're now in neutral to just free roll. But then to go forward and back, you push it just like you would a wheelchair or a shopping cart. So if you want to push it to the left, you want to spin your right tire faster. So you push your right handle faster and that will turn you left. Same thing to turn right. If you get out of control or something, all you have to do is push the lap bars back to center and then push them back to where they are right now.
I'm not good at it
Yeah.
yet.
So the first thing I noticed is you are extremely aggressive on the sticks. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can feather it a little bit more.
Okay. I was the same way when I started driving a car.
Yeah, because if you cut grass like that, you're gonna tear up all your grass very quickly. So yeah, you need to just be a little bit more gentle. You don't have to go 100% or nothing. Also, if you're spinning, like if you're gonna push the right stick to turn left, push the left stick a little bit too, but less.
I feel like I was doing it. Can you do backwards and?
Yes, and that's exactly what you were doing.
Yeah.
So you're literally spinning out both tires at the
Okay.
same time. So you need to be a little bit smoother so that you don't tear up the grass. And they call them T-turns. So instead of doing just a spinning in place that's going to tear up the grass, you come this way, make a gentle turn back, and then come back this way. And I can show you that too. But that just makes it so you don't tear up the grass quite so bad.
Okay.
But what I want you to do now is I'm going to hop on there. I'm going to mow just this section up here real quick. And I want you to pay attention to how I'm feathering the throttle a little bit and watch what the tires are doing as I do it.
Okay.
Okay? So again, this is how we're going to feather it. Just nice and gentle and easy. Same thing forward. And then we're going to start mowing. Drop that deck down a little bit. Looks like they cut the grass a little bit shorter.
So this right here is the most vulnerable position you can be in a zero turn, where you're headed downhill and trying to turn at the same time. You just really don't have much control of the mower with your rear wheels uphill from you because you don't have any weight on those tires. But you can see even in this most vulnerable position, the mower still did a great job at making that turn. I missed a little bit right next to the retaining wall, but for the most part I was able to get up nice and tight to that wall, even going downhill and turning. And then you can see here on this 13-degree slope, the mower is handling this just fine. Again, you always want to do this on dry ground. I wouldn't try to mow this hill if the grass was wet. But again, as long as you are within the owner's manual specifications for the maximum degree of slope and you have actually measured it. But again, we're at 13 degrees. The maximum degree of slope is 15 degrees. The grass is dry and this mower is just eating up that hillside.
All right, guys, so that is the Toro Titan. This is its new owner, my sister here. Uh, a little bit light duty for mowing my 5 acres that I do every week. Again, we live on 44 acres. We mow 5 every week, and not all of it is nice, smooth grass like this. A lot of it is rougher fields and stuff, and this being a residential mower, the Toro Titan Max is just a better fit for me. But I'll tell you what, this thing is going to be king of the neighborhood. I don't know. Do a lot of your neighbors have zero turns, or do they have riding mowers? Or
I think I see a lot of riding mowers. I think the guy across the street might have a zero turn, but he just got it in the last year, so I think he likes it a lot. So we're gonna
yeah,
rival him now.
yeah. What did you think of it?
It's so much better on the hills than the other mower. It really is.
That wider stance just makes you feel so much more planted to the ground.
Yes.
Now, I do want to commend you, your first time in probably a decade running a zero turn, and even then, the first time you ran it was only once. You picked up to it pretty quickly. I mean, I mowed the 15% grade over there just because I didn't want to put her on it in that position until she's comfortable with it, but she mowed the rest of the yard herself and did a pretty good job with it too. I mean, it didn't take you long you were getting pretty smooth with the
I
controls.
was getting better with it, yeah, as I went. It's definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but I think every time you're just going to get better and better, and then you got it, and it's good.
I will put a blooper at the end from when she actually first got on the mower because we had a little bit of a miscommunication. I thought she was going to stay up on the flat part of the yard and just kind of feel it around and drive around, and she went straight for the hill. So I kind of freaked out because I thought she didn't have control of the machine and she was just going towards the hill, and you were completely in control. I mean, I think looking back at the tape now,
I was
think
more scared by you running after me. I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
yeah, I thought that you were not trying to go towards the hill and you were going towards the hill. So yeah, she's just like, might as well try the hardest thing first, I guess. So
Looking back, I probably shouldn't have done that.
yeah. Anyway, guys, that is the Toro Titan with the 60-inch deck, 26 horsepower Kohler, king of the residential mower. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. And then go ahead and just feel it out. Whoa, whoa, Jen, stop. Woo-hoo. Jen, stop.
Why?
Huh?
Why?